Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. It's my NFL draft special video. Is the 1983 NFL draft class the best ever? And the answer from Vincent Turner, me, Mr. Football, is yes, 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 A plus, A plus, A plus. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. And today's video is presented by betonline.com, affiliated with Bleed the Podcast Network. So I'm going to make some people upset today. I'm sorry. But we got the NFL draft coming up, the NFL 2022 NFL draft coming up in Las Vegas in late April. And with the Super Bowl ending last Sunday, all eyes, all attention is to the great players that's going to make up that great draft class this year. But when you're looking at the history of the NFL draft, there's been some great drafts. There's no question about it. But with my research, with my heart, with my spirit and soul, it's no draft that's been better than the 83 class. See, 1965 had took that honor as being one of the greatest draft class because the Chicago Bears had 2 first-round picks. They ended up being Hall of Famers in Dick Butkus and Gary Sayers. Then you had the 1974 NFL draft that was dominated by one team who was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they had 4 Hall of Famers that was in that draft class. And they drafted along, which was Lynn Swann, John Starworth, Mike Webster, and Jack Lambert. But the 83 class, I'm sorry. No disrespect to the 1981 class. No disrespect to my man Bobby Butler, who's part of 100 Yards of Football. But that 83 class had a lot more firepower. And the 81 class had Hugh Green, Lawrence Taylor, Ronnie Lott, no question about it, Dennis Smith. There's some stars too. But that 83 class, 42 Pro Bowlers, 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, 3 of them Hall of Famers, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, John Elway. Then you had Todd Blackledge, Ken O'Brien, Tony Eason, other Hall of Famers in the class that draft: Eric Dickerson, Sealy, Texas; Bruce Matthews, USC; Darrell Green, Texas A&I; Richard Dent, Tennessee State University, the great state of Tennessee; and Jimbo Covert, Pittsburgh, the Pitt Panthers. But this is what really separates any other drafts classes. Look at the free agents that was in that draft. Bill Bates, Mark Truinet, Nate Newton, all Dallas Cowboys fame; Bobby Hebert, the New Orleans Saints. Other great players who haven't made their way in the Hall of Fame that could possibly be before the time I leave this earth. Chris Hinton, outstanding guard with the Indianapolis Colts and the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Kurt Warner, outstanding running back with the Seattle Seahawks. Joey Browner, USC finest, Minnesota Vikings. Henry Ellert, the LA Rams. Leonard Marshall, LSU. Derek Talley, West Virginia. Charles Mann, University of Nevada. 42 Pro Bowlers, as I just mentioned, and won in all 12 rounds. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Other players that was in that draft: Wes Hopkins, SMU; Ron Brown, Olympic champion, Arizona State; Albert Lewis, Pro Bowler, Grambling; the late great Mike Cofer, University of Tennessee; the late great Dave Dorson, Notre Dame; Johnny Rapper, Clemson University; Greg Townsend, TCU; Jim Arnold, Punter, Vanderbilt, the 615; Reggie Roby, the late great Reggie Roby, University of Iowa; Tremaine Johnson, Grambling; Carl Lee, Minnesota; Craig James, SMU; Mark Clayton, Louisville. Mark Bush, Iowa. Tim Crumray, Wisconsin. Carl Mecklenburg, Minnesota. And Anthony Carter, AC, the University of Michigan. It's no better draft class in the National Football League in the history. I put up any draft class. The star power, the ability to make your team better. Eric Dixon got the Rams to the second. In his second year, got him to the NFC Championship game. John Elway won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. Jim Kelly, 4 straight Super Bowls. Dan Marino, all-time career passing leader. The record stood for 20 years. It was stars in that 1983 NFL draft class. And all the great players. You can put it up against them. Anybody out there across the country. That 83 class is the best ever. So, my final words. I'd like to give special thanks to my producer, Mr. Logan Landers, making this video great today. Look at the graphics. A+. Thank you, Logan. One more time, this video is being presented by betonline.com, affiliated with the Bleed Podcast Network. So, for the 1983 class, back in 1996, there was a young man by the name of Horace Brown. He had a song out. It was right before I moved to Atlanta in October of 1996, because that's why I'm broadcasting live today from Metro Atlanta here in Douglasville, Georgia. And he had a song that went like this. This is to the 1983 class. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 for the honeys. That 83 class is the best ever. One more time, by the great Horace Brown. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 for the honeys. The 1983 class is the best ever. Thank you. God bless. Have a wonderful week. I'm Vincent Turner of 100 Yards of Football.